Hello and welcome. This is RTV News in English, but beginning with the headlines. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente says that the government has started introducing advanced medical services at different health centers in a move to further bring services closer to people. While the Minister of Education has indicated that ongoing reforms in the education sector include aligning students' coursework with the skills the country needs. On the international scene, cybersecurity experts have revealed that billions of login credentials stolen in multiple data breach incidents over time were accessed by various malware compiled into datasets and then leaked online. I am William Evans Mtabazi, and this is the news in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente says that over 70% of Rwandans can now reach primary health care centers with less than 30 minutes. He adds that the government has started introducing advanced medical services at different health centers to bring services closer to people. We do have details.
Woman Mariam came to seek treatment for her child at Senior Health Center in Kigali City. She confirmed that it took her less than 30 minutes to get here from her home. It's a less than 30 minutes walk to here because health facilities have been put closer to locals. An example is that you can easily come to seek medical attention here, and it's done quickly, so you can go back to your home and carry on with your housework. The proximity of healthcare services is appreciated by other residents in different parts of the country as well. If you arrive at, let's say, 8 a.m. and by 10 you are done, it's a demonstration that you have been helped and in a timely manner. There is no problem accessing hospitals. I came for checkups while I was 3 months pregnant, and during my delivery, they also handled me really well. They offer good services. It is very easy for you to get medical attention or your family members as long as you have met well. Medical expert Dr. Anthony Miombano says that reducing both the cost of healthcare and the distance people travel to access treatment helps many citizens get timely care and avoid worsening illnesses at home. The government invested heavily in making healthcare accessible for all people, both in distance they have to cover, in getting good services, accessing medicines, and other advanced medical care. All these are priorities so that a big number of Rwandans can get better health care and live happier lives. The Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Dr. Edouard Ngirente, also stated that 60% of those living below the poverty line are able to receive medical care thanks to government subsidies that help them access health insurance known as Mutuelle de Santé. He adds that the government has initiated a program to provide more advanced health services at even primary care facilities.
Buriya hari amasantere de sante dusige tumana hakagiye n'umuganga hakagiye nk'umudokiteri umwe.
There are some of the health centers that we have started allocating specialists to offer advanced medical services to our people. The number is still low because this program is only in 4 districts of Nyagatare, Gicumbi, and Burera. We also recognize that in some parts of the country, people still make long-distance travel to get to health centers. Our target is that everyone makes a journey of only 30 minutes, but we know in some parts it's still more than that. But that is not our desire. The number of households that travel less than 30 minutes to access health centers has increased from 22% to 30%, according to research conducted by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda. Through the EICV7, at least 70% of Rwandans can now access primary health care center in under 30 minutes.
The Ministry of Education has indicated that ongoing reforms in the education sector include aligning students' coursework with the skills the country needs. Students who change from the academic streams initially assigned to them to feel they felt more confident in especially vocational and technical education reported that the change gave them a clearer sense of direction in their studies. Some of these students were initially placed in combinations focused on general academic subjects and explained that they opted to switch to prevent potential failure and to pursue courses that are most relevant to the current job market demands, such as vocational and technical training. Pierre Rekeraho, the head teacher of Lycée de Ruhango Ikirezi, has noted that 50% of the students that he received had initially been assigned to other subject combination, but later changed to fields they were more passionate about, which gave them a better chance of success. Dr. Benald Bahati, the Director General of the National Examination and School Inspection Authority, has stated that the system for assigning subject combination to students needs to reform, as some combinations record constantly high failure rates. On his part, the Minister of Education, Joseph Nsengimana, has highlighted that reforms that are being implemented in the upper secondary education system, which is Senior 5 and Senior 6. Rwanda's long-term vision for education is that 60% of the secondary school graduates will have completed vocational and technical training, while university graduates will receive short-term training in similar skill-based programs. And now the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, together with the Ministry of Local Government, has issued a stern warning to leaders of religious institutions to refrain from any form of to refrain from being used as platforms for spreading divisions, genocide ideology, or ethnic hatred. They stress that such conduct is incompatible with Rwanda's national goal of unity and reconciliation, a foundation the country has prioritized since the end of the 1990s. For genocide against the Tutsi. We do have a report.
Many Christians believe that leaders of religious institutions should lead by example and align with the country's development vision, ensuring they do not contribute to undermining the process Rwanda has made in promoting national cohesion. When the word of God is preached, it teaches unity, and unity is Rwanda's strength. I feel religion has too much influence for unity, which is Rwanda's priority too. Leaders ought to serve as a good example to us who they lead, ensuring that we are at peace with each other and demonstrating how far unity has brought us as a. However, despite these sentiments, the reality is different in practice. The Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, pointed out that some individuals are misusing religion in ways that discredit Rwanda's unity efforts. He made these remarks while addressing members of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security. They have been careful about religious groups. If they are teachers and leaders of others, there is an example they ought to give. We have for long considered the church as independent institutions, believing they have a lot they are teaching our society that we can build upon, forgetting they also need healing. It is common to notice divisions when a time for appointment of new leaders comes. We are now assessing one religious institution after another and giving them our findings. Religious leaders, including Pastor Jean-Deric Muhongaire of Bethesda Holy Church, affirm that churches and faith-based organizations should be key partners in promoting unity and should serve as role models in building a Rwanda free of division. Government's policy outlines that we are all Rwandans. Those things of tribes, we all know where they got us. And it's another form of divisionism brought by our colonizers. As Rwandans, we should be against it, and above all, as ministers of the gospel, we should be the first to demonstrate our part in bringing about unity of all Rwandans. The former church didn't serve as a good example during the genocide against the Tutsi. The Minister of Local Government, Dr. Patrice Mugenzi, also urged religious leaders to engage in self-reflection and avoid teachings that divide citizens. He emphasized that the government will not tolerate anyone found promoting divisionism. What I am asking the church and other religious institutions to do is to make a self-analysis, especially beginning with the leaders and then your members. The government will not allow anyone who will demean what we have so far achieved through the unity of all Rwandans. No one will take us back into our dark past. Since the end of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, the government has invested heavily in historical education, training teachers and school administrators, and working with faith-based organizations to promote unity, resilience, and fight against genocide ideology.
Now, a project aimed at protecting Lake Kivu Basin is said to be implemented in the districts of Rusizi and Nyamasheke. This comes after it was observed that waste from surrounding areas pose a serious threat to the ecosystem of both Lake Kivu and Rusizi River. Plastic bottle waste scattered across various parts of Rusizi and Nyamasheke districts have become a major concern for the aquatic life in Lake Kivu because when it is not collected, it is eventually ends up in the lake. Some residents of Rusizi sectors bordering Lake Kivu say they are now aware of the harmful effects plastic waste has on the lake, and that is why some of them have taken the initiative to collect the waste so it can be recycled into other useful materials. Institutions responsible for water, sanitation and hygiene and electricity have also pointed out that waste from surrounding areas surrounding Lake Kivu creates challenges for sanitation efforts and electricity distribution. In response to the threat plastic waste poses to Lake Kivu and Rusizi River, the Rwanda Red Cross has launched a project called Tanganyika Kivu Water Management, which aims to preserve the water resources of both Lake Kivu and Rusizi River. The mayor of Rusizi district has observed that the project will help remove long-standing obstacles that have hindered efforts to protect Lake Kivu. Besides being implemented in Rusizi and Nyamasheke, the Tanganyika Kivu Water Management project will also be carried out in Bukavu in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it's going to be a 4-year project with a budget of nearly 2 billion Rwandan francs. To more news, the city of Kigali has begun using a modern street sweeper vehicle equipped with advanced technology to clean and wash roads as part of the efforts to improve sanitation and maintain the city's infrastructure. Kigali is known for its cleanliness, a result of strong government policy and a mindset shift among residents about the importance of hygiene. During the night of Saturday into Sunday, the city of Kigali launched the use of a high-tech road sweeping vehicle that cleans tarmac roads. The vehicle sweeps, collects waste and disposes it off properly, all done using automated systems. City of Kigali spokesperson Emma Claudine Nhirenganya has stressed, however, that the machine is not meant to replace existing street cleaners, and she also added that there are plans to increase the number of such vehicles. The vehicle is scheduled to operate between 1 a.m. to 4:30 a.m., a time when there is minimal traffic from cars and pedestrians. Now we're going to take a very short break and then come back with international news.
During life's moments, laying hoops, giving away, making moves, breakfast with family. Inyanje is always there. Whatever the occasion, whatever the moment, always ask for Inyanje.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byaragiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
muyobozi wa sosiyete, turakwibutsa ko buri sosiyete isabwa n'itegeko kubika ibitabo bya sosiyete ndetse no gushyikiriza RDB amakuru abikubiyemo. Ibyo bitabo birimo igitabo cy'abanyamigabane, icy'abagenewe inyungu ku migabane, inyandiko y'amakuru ya sosiyete, ibaruramari ngarukamwaka n'izindi. Gutanga amakuru y'ugenewe inyungu ku migabane wanyura kuri bo.rdb.rw, naho gutanga izindi nyandiko ukanyura kuri org.rdb.rw.
Welcome back from that very short break. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the U.S. strike on Iran nuclear facility, while President Trump confirmed that all the Iran nuclear facility had been destroyed. Adam's Kwizera takes us on.
The strikes took place last night targeting Iran's nuclear facilities. The facilities were destroyed using bankbuster bombs capable of penetrating deep underground targets. The Fordo facility, which was built beneath the surface, was completely demolished. It is reported that these bombs can reach depths of up to 61 meters before detonating and can be launched in succession for greater penetration. Commenting on the strikes, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that this was a proof that military strength brings peace, and he specifically praised President Donald Trump for his bold decision.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
President Donald Trump stated that the military operation targeting Iran's nuclear facilities was a great success. He declared that Iran's facilities was completely destroyed, that nothing remained. However, Iran's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Saeed Abbas Arsh, strongly condemned the U.S. attacks on its nuclear facilities, which he claimed were solely for peaceful purposes. He accused the U.S. of violating international law and endangering global security. He assured that Iran would continue to defend itself and protect its citizens at all costs. 8 days prior, despite Israel having already inflicted heavy damage on other nuclear sites, Natanz and Isfahan were the facilities that had not been fully destroyed, something that has now been accomplished by the U.S. naval forces. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Now, researchers have detected a mass global cyber breach, and according to security experts, billions of login credentials stolen in multiple data breach incidents over time were accessed by various malware, compiled into data sets, and then leaked online. DW News has the details.
Well, the good news is that this isn't really a new data breach. As you mentioned before, this is a compilation of data that's been compiled over a very long period of time. The bad news, of course, is that 16 billion credentials is quite a lot, and what it really indicates is the success of a new form of malware that has been rising to prominence called the info stealer, which is capable of stealing hundreds of credentials all at once. That's why the number has gotten quite so high.
So, if all the money is still in the account and it was collected, all the details ages ago, then you're okay. Or what should users do now to secure their data, whether or not they're compromised?
That's a great question. I think over the span of time that this breach covers, it is very likely that you have changed your password, added two-factor authentication, ideally in the form of an authenticator code, or even better, what's called a passkey, and there's really not a lot of risk for any individual account. In fact, attackers have compromised so many accounts that their issue is figuring out which ones to monetize, much more so than actually gaining access to some of the credentials in the first place. Many of these credentials are old, they probably don't work anymore, or they don't work without the second factor. For the purposes of protecting yourself, one of the best things to do is to actually see if your credentials have shown up in any of the breaches that are likely to be contained in this compilation. There's great public services. I would point to Have I Been Pwned? We spell pwned, P-W-N-E-D, that all do a very good job of surfacing when your credential might have actually surfaced as part of one of the breaches compiled here.
And how could this even happen? I mean, companies like Facebook, Apple, Google, do they do enough to prevent those leaks?
That's a good question. I think the issue that is really prominent here is that the credentials were very likely stolen from individuals and compromised websites. That means that a single person's browser, which might contain hundreds of credentials, are all able to be compromised by one malware infection. So that's why the numbers get really high, and they span all of these different sites like Facebook and, of course, the other internet giants. Now, they are taking steps to make sure that this is less relevant in the future. For example, if you sign up for a Microsoft account right now, you won't actually create it with a password. You'll create it with something called a passkey. Apple and Google and the other internet giants have also done a good job of trying to kill the password. But of course, those old ones might still be active. And of course, if you do not connect them to a second factor, they might still introduce some risk.
Millions of people in different parts of the world were warned of extreme temperatures over the weekend, where the heat is expected to spread over the United States in the coming days, with highs of more than 32 degrees Celsius. And in Europe, authorities have also issued similar warnings, with temperatures soaring in France and Spain. And the UK experienced its hottest days of the year, with temperatures of 10 degrees higher than the average for this year. For this time in the year, BBC News has more.
It's not often the longest day of the year and the hottest day of the year so far collide. But thousands were out celebrating solstice at Stonehenge this morning, enjoying the early heat after overnight temperatures remained high.
It's beautiful. Sunrise is beautiful. It's picture perfect.
You stand in front of these stones and you feel that weight of history. Thousands of years people have been gathering, and it's incredibly special.
Throughout the day, temperatures have risen. These swimmers in Hampstead Heath taking advantage of the cool water as the intense heat kicks in. Some areas in the southeast of England could reach 34 degrees Celsius, triggering an amber heat warning and signalling a rise in demand for health services.
Areas like this are experiencing the height of this heat wave, with people encouraged to enjoy this sun in a responsible manner. But this amber alert isn't the only warning in play today, with some areas of the country experiencing extreme variations in weather.
The sunshine might be blistering for people now, but thunderstorms could roll in with the hot conditions. A yellow storm warning is in place for northern England, North Wales and southern Scotland, with flash flooding and intense lightning spells possible.
You might expect to see thunderstorms where temperatures are highest, but what's happening is before things start to change in our weather, we've got an area of low pressure closing by, and that's changing the atmosphere a little bit across the northern and western areas. And that, combining with the heat and humidity they have, are why it's these areas seeing the storms and not the areas that see the highest temperatures.
A mixed bag of warnings then, with intense heat on the cards. The scorching summer weather continues. Sam Harrison, BBC News.
With that report, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. My name is William Evans. Stay informed and make the best of your most week. Goodbye.